Now, what was interesting is that the nominees for Billboard Music Award K-pop category is nothing like the nominees for Mama. Like, it was so funny because for the top global K-pop song, you have "Standing Next to You" by Jungkook, "Who" by Jimin, "3D" by Jungkook, featuring Jack Harlow. I don't like him, but I don't have a choice. I'll It Magnetic, and then Perfect Night for Les Seraphim. And the thing is that in Mama, Les Seraphim was actually going to be nominated. They were leading in the stat category, in the statistics. They were actually, when they were tracking who was going to end up getting nominated based on their criteria. Perfect Night was actually leading, and Mama actually took it out. They did not even nominate Perfect Night. And I think that was the reason Le Seraphim did not attend, because it was simply disrespectful, because everyone knew, as you can see the statistics here on your screen, they were clearly leading, and then they were taken out. Then for top duo group finalist, Stray Kids was actually nominated. So they're competing against Blink 182, Linkin Park, Coldplay. Tough competition, but at least they are nominated along with these people. So whether or not they win, I hope that they win, but if not, it's still a great opportunity for them to get nominated in this category. Now, for the problem is that for Stray Kids, I think they won but one award in Mama. And they are getting nominated in a major category in Billboard Music Award. So again, there is no consistency between Mama and Billboard in what they recognize. Now, the other thing is that Rose and Bruno Mars actually won. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe that they deserve to win. They absolutely deserve to win. I like the song, and as you know, this Bruno Mars, he's Filipino. I'm Filipino. That's my guy right there. And Rose is my favorite Blackpink member. She's the one I really listen to. But the thing is that the eligibility period for the 2024 Mama was October 1, 2023 to September 30, 2024. Her song came out October 8, 2024. Obviously, that's a week after the expiration of the eligibility, but they still won. So Mama, supported by Mnet, this is actually an awards night organized by CJ, ENM, and Mnet. They really have, it seems that they have no interest in establishing any kind of credibility. In fact, they didn't even include it here. They gave G Dragon a made up award. That award does not exist before. But they gave him an award just because he was going to show up and he was going to reunite his group in Mama. But the in terms, and you wouldn't do all of these things if your main concern is to establish credibility. For all the faults of Grammys, when they were starting out, they were very strict and very consistent. And that's how they became the Grammy that we know now. That's how they became the most coveted award in the music industry globally, because in the beginning they were strict, they had a standard, and they stayed in that standard no matter what happens. The thing is that Mnet is very focused in their local business, and that means if you're operating, and when I say local business, I mean business in Korea. And when you are trying to maintain a business in a specific area, your primary concern is to satisfy local customers. And their customers aren't really the fans. Their customers are management companies, because management agencies or management companies are the ones that supplying them with talents that will appear in their shows. And so they do anything and everything that they can to make sure that everybody is happy. If you listen to the speech of G Dragon, he actually called out Mama. He actually said, "Oh, you're so last in the last performance they had in Mama, he actually dissed Mama and told Ma'am in his diss during his rap he actually said that you're just trying to make everybody happy, and so you're giving out made up awards. And he repeated that in that night, last night, when he accepted his award. He was like, oh, so you're just trying to make everybody happy, so you're giving out whatever awards you can give out just to satisfy everybody. So that is not a hidden thing. Everyone knows that this is happening. This is not to say, just want to make sure, and I just want to clarify, this is not to say that Mama has gotten everything wrong. They certainly have given out awards to K-pop groups that are very, very much deserving. It's just that details like this, it actually, those are the things that's sinking their brand and sinking their credibility. Um, just that one thing that they did to Le Seraphim. Like, why not let them get nominated? It's so obvious that they are going to win. So why take them out of the running? Because they want to satisfy SM Entertainment. Um, Now, this kind of thinking, what they are doing, is very much short term, because they really are just thinking about surviving. They want to make sure that their company will continue making they will continue getting idols and artists that are represented by SM and other agencies. Now, instead of pushing, the main fault of this entire thing is that instead of pushing for the awareness and growth of Korean or probably even Asian music in the global stage, they're accommodating management agencies. And that is making them lose credibility. Now, maybe they don't have any plans of going global. That's probably one of the reasons. So they don't really care about this. They just want to make sure that they are making their customers happy, so that they can continue their business. So then it is becoming clear that this is going to be a fight between the domestic stars and international stars. So K-pop artists are going to be segregated into two different categories: domestic superstars and international superstars. There are going to be groups that are geared for the global market. Blackpink, for example, it's very obvious that they have always been geared for the global market. Le Seraphim, we are now realizing, has always been designed for the global market. So the last, 18 months in their career has always been just a preparation to incubate them and make sure that they are ready for the global stage. And then Mauve, which is the very first girl group of the Black label, is obviously geared for the global market. I don't know if you've seen their first release, Toxic, but the sound, the way that they treated everything, very, very West. It is produced by Teddy, the same producer of Blackpink. Then there are groups that are big locally, like G Idol and Mamamoo. Now, just to make it clear, G Idol actually was going to be launched internationally. And then this entire thing with one of their members happened. She got caught in this bullying controversy. She was pulled out. They had to go on hiatus for a while Mamamoo was going to go they're going to give the international market a run. They had all sorts of plan, and then COVID happened, and so they had to stop everything. So I'm not saying that these two groups don't have what it takes to go global. It's just that circumstances didn't allow them. So I think every agency in Korea is going to have two options. Are they going to create a group that's geared for the local market, geared for the Korean market, or are they going to create a group that's geared for the global market? That will always be the choice. Now, of course, there are groups like BTS. However, always remember, BTS is always the exception to the rule. So, whatever people talk about, whatever thing people are analyzing or whatever, BTS is always the exception. They gained recognition internationally first before they actually got recognition locally. By the time that they first won their Desang, they actually were already scheduled for a world tour, a bigger world tour, an arena world tour in the US and Europe. But there are groups that actually made it big locally in Korea first, like twice. But the minute they started pursuing the international market, they started losing their general fans in Korea. So, for example, one of their latest releases, Moonlight Sunrise, peaked at number 10 in Melon. But they used to never fail in ranking number one in Melon. So TT, Cheer Up, Yes or Yes, all of these singles, always number one. The minute they started targeting the international market, they lost some of their general, their GP following. Now, the other thing is that not all management companies are created equal. A lot of these management companies are really trying to get their artists in the international stage, but not many of them know how to do that. For example, I think ESPA is underutilized. They really do have what it takes to go global, but I think SM Entertainment is not managing them well. They have been together for 4 years and they have proven that they can make it in Korea. It's time to push them globally, but SM Entertainment doesn't know what to do with them. They really could be bigger now. JYP is also missing a lot of opportunities for Stray Kids. These people are producing their own music and they are actually on a stadium tour right now, but they are, I think JYP's missing a lot on movies, merch, brand deals, global projects. So I feel that even though a lot of management companies would want to go global, not everybody is going to be capable of doing it. I think in the end, even though a lot of people hated Bang Shiyuk for what he said, that they need to drop the K in K-pop, that is essentially what's going to happen. A lot of the artists from Korea, to make it internationally, will have to drop the K in K-pop. So there's going to be K-pop, and then there will be pop stars that just happen to have come from Korea. Artists will start targeting the global market and shed the K-pop identity. And I think BTS is going to lead that. They are going to slowly shed the K-pop identity. And I do think it's the rap line that's going to do it first because it's tougher to crack the hip hop market in the West. Um, Obviously, stars like Lisa, for example, and Rose, they are already separating themselves from K-pop. So if everyone is wondering why they're doing what they are doing and why they're doing the things that they're doing, it is because they're trying to separate themselves from the K-pop market and just wants to establish themselves as an artist, a pop star, not a K-pop artist. Now, I think Hybe America is eventually going to start releasing more and more artists that are not K-pop. It's just going to be artists. Like, for example, Cat's Eye. They're just a girl group, not necessarily a K-pop girl group. And then that's going to lead to what we will eventually know as the great artistic segregation of Asia. There's going to be the domestic stars, and then there will be international artists. Now, my question to you is, who else do you think has the raw talent to make it internationally, never mind their agency, just the raw talent? And now, second question is, do you think do you think I'm right, or do you disagree that eventually there will be a segregation? There will be people that will just be known in Korea in the domestic market and they're going to be domestic stars, and there will be artists that will be specifically designed to go global. Apathy is very catchy and kind of annoying in my opinion. Okay, that's Leia, according to Leia. Multistan 95 said, I remember when EXO could be popular globally, SM was most focused on China instead. Yeah, I think not. I think it wasn't until BTS made it that people in Korea, like management companies, that's when they realize, oh, they can actually go global. Like, I think up until that point, people were just really thinking about Asia, Japan, China, because those are two big markets. And they weren't really thinking about the US until BTS did it. And everyone just felt like they can actually do it. And I do think that they're right. They can do it. It's just, but they do need some process on how they can actually get inside the global market. Because remember, JYP first tried when Wonder Girls went inside Billboard Hot 100, he actually relocated himself. JYP relocated himself with Bang Shiyuk to the US to try and establish JYP there. He failed, partly because of the economy as well. But a lot of it really did, it came down to his ability as a businessman to try and adjust. Because remember, the same thing happened to BTS and to Bang Shiyuk. They were at the cusp of the biggest tour they will ever have, and then COVID happened. But Bang Shiyuk and BTS were able to adjust to it. They were able to think of a strategy on how to continue their career. JYP wasn't able to do it. Now, granted, of course, a lot of the things that Bang Shiyuk did and BTS did came from what they have learned from history. But still, he could have adjusted and he just failed to adjust at that time. That is why Eva said that is why BTS paved the way and succeeded. It doesn't have mind spasm said it doesn't have to be that way. Um, but if people want to force a choice, they will leave. Okay, wait, I'm missing something. You're in the middle of your conversation. Um, Bang Luna said the international fans were happy keeping K-pop as their own little niche. So you're saying that many of the K-pop fans, international K-pop fans, didn't bother helping their favorite group to go global, which as now we know is the exact opposite of what armies did, because what armies did is to share. Right, we translated the songs, we translated the interviews. Is that your point? Mickey said J Hope too, he can be super successful if he is better in English. South America loves J Hope so much. I agree. I agree. But I also think that one of the major adjustments that J Hope has to make is to make his lyrics when he's writing his rhymes. He has to adjust to the global sensibility. He has the tendency because he's so poetic. He's actually very, very poetic when when he writes, but he is locally poetic. So there's a lot in his lyrics that you won't understand unless you are a local, a Korean local. So he needs to make that adjustment to make his lyrics more relatable to the international market. But that is not true when he writes songs. Just like, for example, Chicken Noodle Soup, CNS. That's just very global. It's not so ingrained in the Korean culture. But when he raps, that's his tendency.